Hi foxes, and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Brittany and I am known as SHOPFOXBURROW across all of the selling platforms as well as like Instagram and here on YouTube. And today we're going to be talking about a new vintage selling platform that I have been using and that you guys have questions about, and that is ShopThrilling. So if you want to know more about ShopThrilling, then stay tuned. So we'll just start off with the basics, and that is, what is ShopThrilling? So if you go to shopthrilling.com, not thrilling.com, don't go there, it's shopthrilling.com, then you will find a website that is kind of curated with different themes like cottagecore or, bold colors, and they have curated certain different style aesthetics and different eras for users to browse through. Now, the thing about shopthrilling.com is that you can sign up to be a seller on this platform. So it is a multi-seller platform. When I first signed up, they had somewhere around 250 active sellers. I think they might have a little bit more than that now, but it is still a growing place to sell. Now, this is not a super easy place to just sign up and sell what's in your closet. For example, like Depop, Poshmark, Mercari. This is not like that at all. This is more for the vintage curator and someone who knows what they're doing, knows what they're talking about, and already has a vintage shop, essentially. So if that's you and you're interested in selling on Thrilling, then I will be going over kind of like what the onboarding process was for me and what it's like to sell on their website. So we'll start off with the very basics. How to apply. If you go to their website and you go down to the bottom, there is an application to become a seller on Thrilling, and you can go in and you can put all of your shops and social media that you might already have set up. I believe they want like more established brands, but perhaps if you are starting a completely new shop, they might be able to work with you. But basically you need to prove that you know what you're talking about and are going to reliably upload things on the website. Now, one of the great things about ShopThrilling is that you can actually take your entire Etsy shop and anything that is within the categories that they sell, you have an account manager on Thrilling, and they can import that stuff for you, including editing all of your photos to their specifications. So for me, this was huge because I was able to start on Thrilling right away with over 200 items that they were able to import from my Etsy shop. And that whole process took about, I'm gonna say, 2 weeks-ish from the time that I emailed them to apply to the time that I was given an account manager and asked my account manager to port over all my Etsy listings. And I wasn't sure if porting over my Etsy listings meant that I would have to re-upload the photos, but it does not. So they're able to take the photos from your Etsy listings and then import them into their system. And that was just a huge help for me because honestly, the idea of starting a new platform and then having to cross-post everything that I've already posted to other platforms manually just was not appealing at all. So it was really nice that they are able to do this for their sellers, and it definitely gave a big boost to my shop right at the beginning because obviously all of those new items are going to show up in the just arrived sort of categories on Thrilling, and they're going to be available sort of all at once. So you get a whole new audience for everything that you have listed on Etsy all at once on Thrilling. So that was really great. Now we'll talk about uploading pictures and listings. Essentially what I do is I start my listings on Etsy, and I go in and I fill out my listing completely on Etsy and then publish it. And then I will take my photos over to Thrilling from my phone, and I use my phone to upload the pictures and then choose the selections that they have, and then I'll finish the listing on my computer. So when I upload with my phone, unfortunately right now, even though the photos are upright in my phone, it rotates all of them to the left unless I have already previously edited that photo with an editing software, which recently I've only been editing like the main cover shot for my items, and then I have not been editing the rest. So I have to go in and manually turn them all upright, and then you have to edit to specifications the first photo that is going to appear on Thrilling, and then you can also do the second photo that's going to appear on Thrilling if you want to. So what usually happens is that I end up using a dress form photo for the first one. I feel like that's generally the aesthetic of their website. They don't really want you as a person to be like the first thing that the customer sees when they're scrolling through, you know, the Thrilling site. They just want it to be the clothing. So a dress form or a mannequin or a hanger shot or even a flat lay, I guess, is really preferred to a model shot. But if you do have a model shot for the first photo, then you will have to, it will edit out the background, but obviously you will still be in the photo. And then you have to click that it didn't take out all of the right parts, and then someone at Thrilling will manually remove you from the photo. So that takes extra time, which is why I just use a dress form photo as my first photo. This has been a little bit of a pain in the butt because usually when I try and model things, I want to just take a front, side, and back shot modeled, and then I haven't been doing dress form photos, but since I've started selling on Thrilling, I have also done dress form photos as well as the modeled shots, and that does add up with time. So that is something to be cognizant of, depending on how you take your photos to begin with. Next up, you go through and you put in your description, you put in your title, and they do give you guidelines for this when you onboard. They give you a whole thing about the best way to format your titles for people to be able to find them on their website with their search engine. And then you go ahead and put in the other information, and then you can go ahead and hit add product. Now I'm gonna show you the process of this at the end of this video, and that way you'll just kind of have like an idea of what it looks like. It is not an app, it is like a web app that you can get on your phone. It's interesting, but it's not an actual app. So you can use it on your computer, you could use it on your iPad, you could use it on really any platform that you need to list on. So after I've put all that stuff in the app, then I go in to my computer and I copy the description from Etsy and then just paste it into the description on Thrilling, because I don't want to type all that stuff in on like my phone. So I just do copy paste of the description portion from Etsy to Thrilling. Now, Thrilling doesn't have a ton of different sections that you have to pick. You're picking like era, colors, and what type of item it is. So it's very simplistic in that way, and that makes it pretty fast to cross-post, which is good. I would say the biggest time spent with cross-posting is definitely the photo editing, and specifically having to go in and write every single photo. Okay, so you've gotten a listing up, you've hit add product, but it's not showing up on your main page. Why? So the way that Thrilling works is that all of the listings and the descriptions are vetted by their team at, you know, their headquarters or however they operate it. But basically they check over to make sure you've generally got the right date, that you've got the right sort of information, and that customers aren't being misled in any way about whether or not the item is vintage, brand, and etc. So every listing has to be checked, and that usually takes between 2 to 4 business days. This does make it a little bit difficult for me to promote them as a platform, because when I am on my Instagram and I'm posting my new arrivals, I want to do it like kind of right away. I don't want to wait a couple of days for it to be posted to Thrilling. So I'm trying to come up with a way where I can post about my Thrilling account without taking away from the excitement that I get when something is freshly listed. So I'm still working on that. So after they check to make sure your photos are good, your description is good, your title is good, then they go ahead and they publish it to their site, and you are, you show up in, like, if you go to clothing, then you can sort by new arrivals and stuff like that. So you are kind of like boosted in that way. And I definitely do notice that when I list things, a lot of times it's some of the newer stuff that is selling. So it's definitely good to get that little extra bit of publicity, I guess, when something is new and fresh. Okay, now last up, something sells, right? Woohoo! So you're so excited. You'll get an email to whatever email address you sign up with, and they will send you a packing slip and a shipping label. So on Thrilling, the buyer pays shipping, and then Thrilling sends you a shipping label. You need to be able to weigh it to make sure that the package postage is enough to cover the weight of the package. Some of it, usually if it's over a pound, I have to take it to a UPS store. If it is under a pound, it will go USPS first class, and so I'm able to just pop it out with my Posh packages in the morning, and my Etsy packages, but I do have to take more things to the UPS store now. Luckily, I live about 4 or 5 minutes away from a UPS store. It's not really a big deal for me, but if you live kind of far from there, then that might be a consideration that you need to make. They do ask that you ship out your items within 24 to 48 hours. And after you ship your items, I believe you're supposed to let them know that you've shipped it, although I have not been doing this. I just recently read that, so I'm not sure about that. And then now you've shipped it, and then what? How do you get paid? So every Tuesday at the moment, they are sending out payments for anything that you have shipped that sold the week prior. So let's just say on Thursday and Sunday I sold 2 items. Then on Tuesday of the following week I will get paid for those items to my PayPal account. Now Thrilling takes a 10% fee, and so far that's the only fee that they take. There's no like processing fees, there's no, hidden fees or anything like that. So they take 10% of the sales price of the item and then PayPal you the rest of it. And they'll usually put a little note in the PayPal as to what all of the payments are for. But they send it as like one lump. It's not individual payments. So the packing slip does not say how much the buyer paid for the item. And so if you need to record keep, then you'll have to know how much everything was priced at, which I think you can see it in the portal after it's sold, but I'm not positive on that. Anyway, you need to keep records of how much things have sold for, like how much you have them priced at, and then you'll get your payments based on that. So if you want to double check, keep track of your prices. You can go in anytime and adjust your prices if you would like to, but there's no bulk sales abilities. There's no like running a sale on your individual shop. Thrilling as a whole does have a couple of sales events that you can either opt into or not. So you will be shown in part of like whatever promotional page, or like a discount will show on your items when that promotion is going on. But aside from that, like you can opt in or you can opt out, and it's up to you. So that's pretty much it for like the nitty gritty of selling on Thrilling. There's a couple of things I like about the platform, and that is that because they are a new platform, they are very heavily investing in advertising, which is great for sellers. And then they don't have a ton of sellers on their platform. So I've noticed that, you know, the just in sort of category, I mean, it doesn't update that often. So the less competition, I guess, the better, the more likely that your items are going to get seen. So that's really nice. There's definitely a market on there for plus size stuff, and I've seen a lot of that get attention, and I've sold a number of plus size items on Thrilling. And I believe for the time being they have flat shipping of $5.99. I'm not 100%, but I haven't actually gone through with purchasing anything. So I believe they have $5.99 flat shipping, and then if your buyer spends over $75, then they get free shipping, and Thrilling pays for that. So they are a new platform, and they're just really reinvesting, I think, a lot of their profits into acquiring new customers, and for sellers, that's really great. And especially at a 10% rate, I feel like that's really good and reasonable. So I'm happy with that, and I am actively uploading to the platform and keeping it up to date with my Etsy. And as soon as I figure out how to work it into my marketing, I definitely want to do that. I think that it is a good platform, and I just think logistically the waiting period, while not unreasonable, is kind of maybe not so fun to work around. One of the things I don't like about Thrilling is that if you have an inventory system, they assign a SKU number to your items, and you're not able to put in your own SKU numbers. I suppose you could probably put it at the end of your description or something like that. Right now, because everything I'm posting on Thrilling is cross-posted to Etsy, I just go to Etsy and look at the listing that I have there and look at my SKU number. But just be aware, there's no place for you to put your own internal SKU number. It's only like their SKU numbers that they... And one other thing that I want to mention, if you have made it to the end of this video, then this is kind of the reward for you. They do have a private vendor wholesale offering every week. So they work with thrift stores, and they acquire a certain amount of vintage items, and they photograph them, and they take general measurements, and they take tag photos, and they list them in their private vendor portal. And the prices range from $5 to, I think, $30, depending on like what the item is. But I mean, going to vintage shows and hand-picking vintage, that's a good price. And if you spend over $75, you get free shipping. So I've definitely bought a couple of things from their wholesale portal, and I mean, it's coming from the thrift store. They do try to take pictures of damages and stuff, but you have to expect that you're gonna get some stuff that needs like a little bit of TLC. I've gotten a couple of pieces that need some washing, but it's a really cool thing that no other platform is doing right now. So they are trying to support their sellers, and so you do kind of have to be on top of it and go in sort of as soon as it's launched. Then they add more items partway through the day, and then at the end of the day, anything that's left goes 25% off. And they will combine your shipping for any orders that you place throughout the day, and they will refund any shipping that you pay over $5.99. So the most that you're going to pay for shipping is $5.99, and if you spend over $75, it's going to be free. So I really think that that's pretty awesome of them as a platform. And if you purchase items from their wholesale portal, you can actually have your account manager port them over to your account. So they will take their photos and they will port them over to your account. I don't do this because I like to take my own photos, but it is an option, and I just think that that is really cool of them. Oh, one more thing. So you might wonder what happens if items get returned. They do have a 100% satisfaction guarantee for their customers. So if their customers aren't happy, they can return the items. And anything that gets returned to Thrilling, they keep and sell. I don't know if they use your photos or your description, but you don't have to deal with the return. They take it and deal with the return. However, if they start to get like an inordinate amount of returns on your account, then they kind of like send you a warning, and they're like, hey, you know, we're getting a lot of returns from you. Either like your quality's not good or your measurements aren't right, or whatever. As far as I know, I haven't had anyone return anything that they have bought from me, but if they did return something, then I get my money and Thrilling tries to sell it themselves. So, yeah, I mean, there are some like minor inconveniences that come with the platform, but I really like them. And I like that they are woman owned, and I like that they are person of color owned, because all of their advertising really focuses around people of color in the fashion industry and the vintage industry. And I really love that. So their Instagram account is awesome. They're always highlighting interesting people from the fashion world who were not white. So that's good. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. That is Thrilling. If you want to watch me go ahead and do a listing on Thrilling, then stick around, and that will be the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Are you going to try this platform, or does it sound like too much of a hassle? Is it going to work for you? Let me know. I'm interested. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.